Hey.
Hi.
So we just put on our thrift shop haul, and what I'm wearing is just a very basic white dress shirt. It's got some lines going down it. I know you can't really see it in the video, but it adds a little bit of texture to an otherwise really plain shirt. And then this is actually a bathrobe, but it's like not all fuzzy and weird like that. And even though it's kind of a lighter blue than what I would like to have, all we have to do to get it darker is just use some cheap dye that we just got at the store. And with the collar, see, this is a really modern collar. All I'm going to do is just take a pair of scissors and cut along it. And then the belt I'm wearing to kind of cinch the robe and give it some shape is just an old martial arts belt that I had lying around.
So that's Ben's mage outfit.
Yeah.
And what I found is kind of like an elfish kind of thing. I found a peasant blouse with really pretty detailing along the neckline. It's 3/4 sleeve. And the skirt, how should I do this? Here we go. The skirt is green and it's tiered, kind of like leaves. Go. And to cinch it, right now I'm using a scarf, but I could also use a belt that's belted all the way around and can hang low, or I could use a corset cincher. But for now, I have this lovely little tasseled scarf thing.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to make our modifications to the clothes so that they, for example, this looks a bit like a bathrobe, which is what it is. But after we dye it, it won't. And as for the shirt, right now it looks like a modern dress shirt. But after I cut it up a bit and add a couple other little details, it'll look more like a mage's shirt. So we're going to go do that now, and we'll be right back.
Hi guys! So while I got a relatively simple outfit as compared to what Ben's doing to his, I'm just going to talk to you about what you can do to accessorize a simple outfit. So as I said before, I got a really basic blouse and a skirt. So those are the key pieces to building your character's unique wardrobe. So with a blouse, you could, if you wanted to, you could go up and add trim to the sleeves, or if you didn't want to go through all the work of modifying it, all you'd have to do is layer on some bracelets. You could wear a thinner undershirt to add some color interest. Like say, this is a brown blouse. If you wanted to wear a green blouse that maybe matched the skirt, you could try that and see what it looked like. For the neckline, you could, because this one's so detailed already, all you'd really have to do, if you wanted to, was add a necklace, maybe a pendant with a leaf on it or something. For the skirt, you could add a layered belt that drapes over it, kind of like a sarong. And for cinching the waist, this is a scarf right now, but you could use a little corset cincher, like an underbust that goes from here over the shirt. Or you could do a little jeweled belt thing that hits around your mid-waist. You could do anything. Like, scarves are one of the most versatile pieces in a LARPer's wardrobe, as well as your real-life wardrobe. You could wear a scarf as, well, a scarf in many different ways. You could wear it as a veil. You could wear it as a belt. You could drape it around a skirt. You could do anything you want with it. So just be creative. So now that you have the key pieces in your wardrobe, you can do whatever you like. Add a wig, add a headpiece, like this famous tiara, for example. You can do anything you want now that you have the basic elementary parts of your costume. So I hope you have fun and experiment, layer away.
Okay, so I'm about to modify the shirt. And as you can see, it's just a normal dress shirt. I got it at a thrift store. I think I got it for around $4. So what I'm going to do now is this. The collar, I don't like that. And for a maid shirt especially, it doesn't really look good. It especially doesn't look good with the robe on it. So what I'm going to do now is just take a pair of scissors, and all around the edge, I'm going to cut it just above this seam. It's really hard to see, but you can kind of see it there. Alright, so all I'm going to do is just go around it now and cut. And leave the tiniest bit, and as you wash it, this will shred, and it will add kind of a rough, more medieval look to it while still being refined, which is what you want, because as a mage, you're not a rough and tumble fighter. You have some class. So you want to look good while still having a more accurate outfit. And as you can see, I'm just cutting along here. Little hint I learned from the first shirt I made like this: don't leave too much material above the seam where it's sewn. If you do that, it actually is too fuzzy looking, and it looks more like a cut up dress shirt than an actual shirt that you would have for LARP. Ta-da! Alright, and that creates, I don't know if this is the actual term or not, what I like to call a mandarin collar. You'll see what that looks like in a minute. Something else I've noticed with dress shirts especially that I don't like when it's just a dress shirt, I don't like the button-up sleeves. If you leave them open, it looks bad. And if you close them, it doesn't look very medieval because it's so tight around your wrist. So what I like to do, and it's very simple, is I just find where I want to cut. Generally speaking, a good place is above this slit right here, where it leaves a little bit of room, and that tends to be a good place. Some people I've noticed like to cut down here if they want a slightly longer sleeve, but I'm going for more of a 3/4 sleeve here. So, and I'm just going to cut, and it doesn't have to be smooth. Actually, in more medieval type clothes, you'll notice they tend not to be very even and very smoothly cut or sewn. So a little bit of that is actually fine, especially if you're going to go back later and add like a different color thread or something there as an accent. And now we're just going to do the other side. Okay, and now let me look at this. That's pretty good. It doesn't have any hanging loose pieces. Let's look at this one. Yeah, I'll clean that one up a little bit in a couple places, like right there and right here. And after you wash this a couple times, it will actually fray a bit, and it gives it kind of a rough, unfinished look that lends itself very well to a medieval style LARP. And it's missing a button, and I'm not going to show you how to sew that back on. That's part of the cost that comes sometimes with buying from a thrift store. But like I said, I got this for $4. If I was to buy a new dress shirt and try and make this, it'd probably cost upwards of $30, especially if you're getting a nicer dress shirt. So we're basically done with this, and now I'm about to go and I'm about to dye this bathrobe. And I'm not going to show you that because you can look that up in other videos, but I'll be back in a minute and I'll show you what the finished effect looks like. Okay, so this is what I got after editing and messing with the ice/water mage's costume. I had this old karate belt lying around that I used to cinch it. We dyed the robe a darker blue just with some cheap dye that we got from the local supermarket. The shirt, I cut off the regular collar to give it kind of a, well, it's called a mandarin collar, but it's also just a more old-fashioned mage's collar is what I call it. I had some material left over that I used to make an arm wrap that I think is actually kind of cool looking. And the pants, which are just normal tan cargo pants, I just had sitting around. Throw it all together and you've got a pretty decent mage costume. And I'm donating this, so anyone who wants to use it, feel free. Alright, this has been how to create a LARP costume from the thrift store for under $20.